Taylor Swift saw it all: the lies, the manipulation, the carefully timed comebacks. While the world was busy romanticizing Selena, Taylor was silently watching Justin Bieber use Selena Gomez like a PR chess piece. Every time his career started slipping, he suddenly remembered Selena. And Taylor? She wasn't just standing by. She was warning Selena long before the rest of us connected the dots. This wasn't just a messy breakup, it was a calculated pattern. Taylor knew the truth, that behind every public kiss and tearful reunion, Justin was leveraging Selena's name to clean up his image. And when Selena finally started to speak, Taylor was right there beside her, not just as a friend, but as the one person who always saw through the act. What's coming next will change how you look at this entire timeline. Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. It all started with one quiet confession that most people missed. In a 2022 Rolling Stone interview, Selena dropped a line that hit harder than anyone expected. "My only friend in the industry really is Taylor Swift. Just one real friend in an industry full of stars, agents, and fake smiles." That wasn't just sad, it was a signal. Taylor wasn't in Selena's life for clout. She was there when it hurt the most. No red carpet performance, no Instagram shoutouts, just real loyalty. And while the cameras were chasing the headlines, Taylor was watching something deeper unravel. How Justin kept pulling Selena back into his orbit whenever it benefited him, and how the industry let it happen. Taylor didn't hear about the Selena chaos through tabloids, she lived it. While the world gushed over Justin and Selena's on-again, off-again romance, Taylor saw the cracks. She saw the manipulation. And most of all, she saw her best friend in pain. Selena once said, "They visibly saw me in so much pain." And she wasn't talking about the fans. She meant Taylor. Taylor wasn't getting the filtered version. She was front row to the heartbreak. And she wasn't afraid to react either. Remember that 2013 Billboard Awards moment when cameras caught Taylor literally gagging as Selena and Justin kissed backstage? That wasn't shade, that was disgust, raw and unfiltered. Because Taylor knew this wasn't love. This was emotional damage disguised as romance. And while others smiled for the cameras, she refused to fake it. Taylor's songwriter instincts spot patterns faster than any gossip blog. And one pattern screamed louder than the headlines. Every time Justin's career wobbled, he boomeranged back to Selena. November 2015 album Purpose needs hype, and suddenly he's confessing undying love on live TV. 2017 Bad Boy image hits rock bottoms, and like clockwork he rebrands as a church-going saint, walking into Sunday service with Selena on his arm. These weren't coincidences. They were chess moves. Taylor called them out in private, warning Selena that a heart can't survive being treated like a promotional tour stop. And the receipts kept stacking. People magazine's timeline, the suspicious paparazzi shots, the sudden Instagram explosions. To the world it looked romantic. To Taylor it was blatant strategy. She urged Selena to see the cycle for what it was, a PR carousel that would never stop spinning until someone jumped off. Watching her best friend's pain recycled for chart positions lit a fire under Taylor. And that fire is what finally pushed Selena to write the anthem that would change everything. When Selena dropped "Lose You to Love Me," it wasn't just another breakup track, it was a burial. A line like, "In 2 months, you replaced us like it was easy," wasn't poetry, it was evidence. Taylor was one of the first to hear the track, and she didn't just nod along, she cried. So did her mom. Because they knew exactly what those lyrics cost. They weren't just words, they were wounds finally given a voice. That song was Selena drawing a line in the sand. After years of watching Justin use her name to patch up his public image, she finally told the truth. And Taylor? She backed her every step of the way. No interviews, no drama, just unwavering support. When the song hit #1 on Billboard, it wasn't just a win for Selena, it was a signal to every girl who's ever been emotionally played that there's power in reclaiming your story. Taylor didn't write the lyrics, but she helped shape the courage it took to say them. To the average fan, it looked like drama. To Taylor Swift, it looked like a blueprint. Every public reunion, every paparazzi shot, every emotional Instagram posted, it all pointed to one thing. Justin was using Selena's name like a booster shot for his career. And Taylor? She connected the dots long before the media did. She watched how every Justin comeback had a Selena chapter. 2015, 2017. Even moments in 2020, like clockwork, whenever Justin needed a fresh narrative, he found a way to reattach himself to Selena's story. Whether it was church appearances, Instagram lives, or conveniently timed Coachella outings, the playbook was clear. And what made it worse? He was doing all of this while Selena was fighting for her life literally. Lupus, chemotherapy, a kidney transplant, mental health treatment. And where was Justin? Not beside her. Not showing up, not helping. Just reappearing when the cameras were rolling. Taylor saw that for what it was. Emotional exploitation wrapped in romance, and she wasn't having it. Taylor didn't just watch Justin play games with Selena, she watched Hailey slide into the story like a ghost waiting in the wings. And she saw it years before anyone said it out loud. This wasn't some whirlwind romance that came out of nowhere. Back in 2011, Hailey Baldwin was tweeting, "I'm 100% Team Jelena." By 2018, she was Mrs. Bieber. That's not coincidence, that's a calculated entrance. And Taylor knew it. She saw how every time Selena and Justin hit a rough patch, Hailey was quietly there liking posts, popping up at events, being just a friend. But as soon as Selena was finally out of the picture for good, boom, engaged in July, married by September. It was the fastest PR recovery move anyone had ever seen. And Taylor? She clocked it in real time. Because when someone spends years orbiting a relationship only to step in the moment it collapses, it's not about love. It's about positioning. Taylor knew the industry too well to fall for the fairy tale. And she made sure Selena knew it. 2. Taylor didn't need a press release to know. Justin hadn't truly moved on. His actions spoke louder than any wedding vow. Even after marrying Hailey, he couldn't resist dragging Selena back into the spotlight. In 2019, he accidentally exposed his Google search history twice, searching for Selena's Coachella outfit. His excuse? That he and Hailey were just watching. His own performance, and Selena popped up. Taylor would have rolled her eyes at that one. Then came the Gollum meme in April 2025, girls on social media when they get engaged. The timing? Just days after Selena announced her engagement to Benny Blanco. Taylor saw it for what it was. A man still obsessed with controlling the narrative, still clinging to relevance by tethering himself to the very woman he discarded. And the saddest part? He wasn't even subtle about it. Even after building a whole new life, Justin's insecurity kept pulling him back to the name that built his buzz, Selena. And while the world debated what it meant, Taylor knew exactly what was going on. This wasn't heartbreak. This was possession. And it was time Selena broke free for good. Selena didn't just walk away, she walked out with receipts. And Taylor Swift was right there, helping her shift the spotlight from heartbreak to healing. When Lose You to Love Me dropped, Taylor wasn't just supportive, she championed it. She called it the perfect anthem of healing. That cosign wasn't just hype, it was protection. It reframed Selena's story from Justin's ex to a woman owning her pain and turning it into power. And the impact? Immediate. The narrative flipped. Suddenly, people weren't whispering about Justin's new love, they were listening to Selena's voice. That wasn't an accident. That was Taylor helping her best friend stop being the footnote and start being the headline. Behind the scenes, Taylor, one of the most business-savvy women in music, was encouraging Selena to turn that pain into purpose. And she did. Rare beauty. Only Murders in the Building. The Rare Impact Fund. Selena went from being part of Justin's emotional carousel to running her own empire in every step. Taylor was there, reminding her of what she already knew deep down. You don't need to clap back when your life becomes. The comeback, even after Selena walked away, built a career on her own terms, and found real love. Justin and Hailey just couldn't seem to let her go. Taylor watched it all unfold like a script she'd seen too many times. When their spotlight dimmed, they'd reach for Selena's shadow. In March 2025, Hailey was caught allegedly liking a TikTok mocking Selena in Benny Blanco's magazine cover. Her team denied it, but the pattern was already too familiar. And Justin? He was still out here posting shady memes. Like that now infamous Gollum joke about engagement rings posted right after Selena's engagement. Taylor didn't need to say a word. She saw what everyone else was finally starting to realize. This wasn't a feud, it was obsession. While Selena had moved on, Justin and Hailey were still living in the echo of a story they didn't want to end. And the irony? The more they reached for her name, the more power Selena gained. Taylor helped. her see that clearly. Real growth doesn't need revenge, it just needs distance. And Selena had finally found hers. By the time Selena announced her engagement to Benny Blanco in December 2024, the message couldn't have been clearer. She had moved on fully. And who was cheering the loudest? Taylor Swift. Her comment, "Yes, I will be the flower girl," wasn't just playful, it was powerful. It was a public declaration of joy, sisterhood, and survival. While Justin responded with petty memes and thinly veiled shade, Taylor responded with love. That's the difference. While some people tried to control the narrative, Taylor helped Selena reclaim it. No interviews. No call-outs, just quiet, unwavering loyalty. From late-night studio sessions to private conversations, the world will never. Here, Taylor was the one constant. The one person who reminded Selena who she was, even when the world tried to reduce her to someone's ex. And now, Selena is living proof that you can come out of the darkest chapters with grace, purpose, and power. Her life doesn't orbit around Justin anymore. If anything, his still orbits around hers. And Taylor? She's still exactly where she's always been, by Selena's side, not just as a friend, but as the one who always saw the truth. Even when no one else did, this story was never just about Justin. It was about survival. About watching someone rise from the ashes of manipulation, heartbreak, and public spectacle and build something untouchable. Selena didn't just walk. I wish she walked into the life she always deserved. And Taylor Swift? She wasn't just a cheerleader in the background. She was the lighthouse in the storm, the quiet protector, the one who never needed to scream to be heard. And now, years later, while Justin and Hailey still fumble for attention using a love story that no longer belongs to them, Selena and Taylor have written something stronger, something real, a story about healing, about choosing peace over pettiness, purpose over headlines, and friendship over everything. Selena moved on, but Justin and Hailey couldn't, and Taylor saw it all happening like a déjà vu on loop. Every time Selena stepped forward in her life, whether it was a new project, a health update, or real love, Justin and Hailey seemed to toss her name right back into the fire. The timeline says everything. March 2025, Selena announces her engagement to Benny Blanco. Within days, Justin is posting a meme mocking girls on social media when they get engaged, featuring a Gollum clip, no less. Fans didn't miss the reference, and neither did Taylor. She's navigated public breakups before, and she knows when someone's clinging to control instead of moving on, and it wasn't just Justin. That same month, a TikTok creator called out Hailey for liking a video that mocked Selena in Benny's Interview magazine cover shoot. Hailey's team denied it, of course, but the pattern was too familiar. Selena gets a win, and suddenly there's passive aggression from people who supposedly moved on years ago. This wasn't about random coincidences. It was strategy. It was obsession. Taylor, the master of decoding symbols and spotting shade, would have clocked this instantly. From the outside, it looked like petty online behavior. From Taylor's perspective, it was proof that Justin and Hailey were still riding the Galena wave because their spotlight wasn't strong enough without it. And that's where Taylor's role in Selena's life became more than friendship. It became defense. Quiet, consistent defense. While Justin and Hailey stayed caught in an emotional echo chamber, Taylor helped Selena silence the noise, not with drama, but with direction, with success, with peace, and the difference became impossible to ignore. Selena was building things: art, beauty, wellness, legacy. Justin and Hailey? Still clapping back at shadows. Still lurking behind screens. Still reacting to a love story that no longer included them. And Taylor made sure Selena saw that clearly. Because once you recognize the game, you don't have to play it anymore. While Justin was disappearing and Hailey was stepping into the spotlight, Taylor was doing something far more powerful, showing up, not for fame, not for press, but for Selena's life. Because behind the celebrity drama, behind the songs and the scandals, Selena was quietly battling something much bigger: lupus. A brutal autoimmune disease that attacked her body and spirit. Diagnosed in 2013, undergoing chemotherapy in 2014, and receiving a full kidney transplant in 2017, these weren't just headlines. They were life or death moments. And where was Justin? Nowhere. He wasn't in hospital rooms. He wasn't at appointments. He wasn't standing beside her when she could barely stand. But Taylor was. Every time Selena faced another round of treatment or another emotional collapse, Taylor was right there checking in, showing up, holding space. No cameras, no captions. Just real friendship. Selena's mom confirmed it herself in interviews. Taylor was one of the only people who really cared. Not about Selena's fame, but about Selena's survival. And it didn't stop with lupus. In 2018, when Selena entered a mental health treatment facility shortly after Justin's whirlwind marriage to Hailey, the pressure, the betrayal, the emotional weight nearly crushed her. And once again, Taylor didn't flinch. She didn't vanish. She became a lifeline. According to Entertainment Tonight, Taylor was a constant during that time, offering Selena not just comfort, but clarity. Because who else could understand that kind of public pain better than Taylor Swift herself? Taylor knew what it was like to be body-shamed, villainized, misquoted, and broken by the spotlight. And that's what made her presence so healing. It wasn't just about talking Selena through the trauma, it was about showing her that you can come back stronger, wiser, and completely unbothered by the noise. That you can build a life no one can tear down. And as Selena began to do exactly that, launching Rare Beauty, breaking chart records, starring in hit shows, it was clear Taylor hadn't just stood by her. She had lifted her silently and steadily, until Selena could finally stand tall on her own. Taylor didn't just help. Selena survived the storm, she helped her turn it into fuel. While Justin and Hailey were still playing the image game, Selena was quietly building an empire rooted in authenticity, healing, and power. And behind the scenes, Taylor was there nudging her best friend toward purpose. Not revenge, not clapbacks, but something bigger. Enter Rare Beauty, a brand that wasn't about perfection, but about self-acceptance. And at the heart of it, the Rare Impact Fund, Selena's promise to raise $100 million for mental health services over 10 years. That's not PR, that's legacy. And Taylor, who had spent years fighting for artists' rights and owning her voice, undoubtedly helped Selena see the bigger picture. You don't just walk away from pain. You turn it into power that outlives the headlines. Taylor knew that Selena's real strength wasn't in her silence, it was in her story. Every health battle, every breakdown, every betrayal was now fuel for something untouchable. And Taylor's influence ran deep. She herself had flipped heartbreak into art, lawsuits into movements, public takedowns into platinum albums. So when she saw Selena battling not just lupus, but media cruelty, body shaming, and years of emotional gaslighting, she didn't tell her to stay quiet. She showed her how to speak loud enough to shake the system, and it worked. Selena didn't just trend, she transformed. Rare Beauty wasn't just a product line. It was a platform for millions who'd felt unseen, unwell, and unheard. And while Justin and Hailey continued to make headlines for passive-aggressive posts and viral awkward moments, Selena was out here creating real, measurable change. Taylor helped her see the truth. Fame fades, but impact echoes. And when the cameras turn away, what really matters is what you built. Selena wasn't just surviving anymore, she was redefining what survival looks like. And Taylor? She was still right there, cheering her on, not for attention, but because real friends don't just show up for the glow-up. They help build it. As Selena and Taylor soared, Justin and Hailey seemed frozen in time, stuck in the same old narrative they couldn't stop weaponizing. Selena had moved on. She had a hit TV show, a billion-dollar beauty brand, a global mental health initiative, real love. But Justin and Hailey? They kept circling the same tired playbook, memes, subtle digs, and thinly veiled references to a chapter Selena had long since closed. And Taylor? She saw the split happening in real time. The emotional and professional distance between Selena and her past grew wider every year. But instead of healing in silence, Selena glowed in public on her own terms. While Justin's music slowed down and Hailey's fame stayed largely attached to her last name, Selena's impact kept expanding. The difference was undeniable. Selena wasn't just more successful, she was more grounded, more authentic, more free. And Taylor understood exactly why that mattered. She had spent her own career fighting to own her story against labels, men, media, and manipulation. So when she looked at Selena, she didn't see weakness, she saw proof. Proof that you can break a cycle and still win. Proof that you can be soft and still strong. That you can lose the love story, but write something far better. And the louder Selena's success became, the more desperate the old narrative looked. The more Selena healed, the messier Justin and Hailey's behavior became. Little jabs, likes, shady moments, all signs of people trying to reclaim relevance from someone who had already outgrown the room. If you felt this, hit that like button. Share with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe because we've got more truth to tell.